Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, it's time to look at another fun card from Burning Shadows. It's Mount Lanakila. And I like this. It's pretty cool. What it says is that the retreat cost of each basic Pokemon in play is increased by 1. Which literally makes it the opposite of the old card Sky Arrow Bridge, which reduced the cost of each basic Pokemon's retreat by 1. Makes it very similar to Team Aqua's secret base, which is really quite funky, because Potown, that I looked at a couple days ago, is incredibly similar to Team Magma's secret base, and Mount Lanakila is very similar to Team Aqua's secret base, so yay, symmetry! Now, this shows that Pokemon are going away from a basic heavy format. In the past, we had cards like Max Elixir, Fighting Fury Bout. These cards are getting old. Now we've got cards like Ho-Oh that helps evolution cards, and Diancie and Muscle Dumbbells. All of these links in the description. And not to mention the Vileplume that stops basic Pokemon attacking that's coming in this set. So, a lot of love here for evolutions, and Pokemon seem to be heading toward a more evolution-focused meta, which actually I really quite like. Now, this is especially good because Floatstone in the past would make this card an awful lot less good, because you could just stick a Floatstone there and then it didn't matter how much your retreat cost got increased to. But now, of course, we've got Field Blower, which will get rid of any Floatstones, which doesn't mean you can't use Floatstone. It just means you can't leave it there for the whole game. You've got to put it down when you actually need it. And let's be clear about this. This is actually going to be really quite fun, because a lot of people now are using starter Pokemon like Alolan Vulpix so they can use Beacon to search out some Pokemon at the beginning of the game. Oh no, wait! They can't, because now they've got a retreat cost of 2, and that's going to be awkward. And to be fair, most people don't attach any energy to Alolan Vulpix, because they always know they can just attach 1 energy and retreat. Well, now they can't. Things like Tapu Lele, that used to have a retreat cost of 1, now has a retreat cost of 2, which is considerably more awkward, ladies and gentlemen. And then, of course, we've got the promo Tapu Koko, which an awful lot of people are playing, and one of the things they love about it is that it's got free retreat. Well, not anymore, it doesn't, because it's a basic, and Mount Lanakila says, hang on a second, have an extra retreat cost. And this makes cards like Lysander and After Rotation Guzma, which is just Lysander plus a switch for you, so much better. Because you can now drag a basic Pokemon into the active, and now they've got a higher retreat cost, making it much more awkward for them to get out of the active. It means Escape Rope could be an awful lot of fun. Because nowadays you play an Escape Rope and your opponent goes, okay, I'll put my Tapu Koko up. Then I'm going to retreat my Tapu Koko, and now I'm back to where I was. But now you can make this decision so much more awkward. And of course, let's remember Wobbuffet. Now, I've done a video about him as well, link in the description. Wobbuffet does 50 damage for each energy in your opponent's retreat cost. Well, now, up in the retreat cost by 10 means that Wobbuffet's doing an extra 50, although only to basic Pokemon, not to any Pokemon. You might be thinking at this stage, hang on a second, Ross, this sounds too good to be true. There must be a downside, and there is a downside. And it is a huge downside. And that is that this is one of those stadiums that affects your opponent on their turn. So they can just play their own stadium or play a Field Blower to get rid of it, and then their retreat is as it was before. The way I like to explain it is, it's the same reason why Altar of the Moon is good and Altar of the Sun is not good. Altar of the Moon gives you a lower retreat cost when you've got Dark or Psychic energy attached. You play it down, you retreat, you've used that stadium. Altar of the Sun removes weakness from Fire and Metal Pokemon, which sounds amazing. The problem is, your opponent, before they attack, can just play a Field Blower or play their own stadium, and then you get your weakness back. It's in your opponent's control. And that's the problem here with Mount Lanakila. It's entirely in your opponent's control. Now, maybe they won't have a stadium to play down. Maybe they won't have a field blower. But every time you put this down, you're thinking, ha ha, I've got you now, as long as you don't have a stadium or a field blower in hand, or a supporter that you can play to try and draw into a stadium or a field blower. But if you don't have any of that, ha ha ha, I've got you now, it's just not the same. And that's why I'm going to have to give Mount Lanakila between 2 and 3 Wassies. I love this stadium. I know I say that a lot, but I'm just a positive dude. I like an awful lot of these cards. And there are a lot of uses for this. But at the end of the day, I don't love it enough to really play it very much, because as fun as the effect is, and it is a fun effect, it just is way too easily played around. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But if you disagree with me, that's what the comment section is there for. Go nuts, be nice. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, make sure that you are following me on Twitter @TheWassie, and the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.